we come to this study with a heavy heart. Those of you watching on TV, it's 3 days after the Newtown, Connecticut school massacre. And there's really no words to explain that. There's no answers for it other than we have free will, and God allows us to use our free will in evil ways. It does remind me, however, of the first Christmas. You say, how could such a massacre remind anyone of the first Christmas? Because Herod ordered the massacre of all children, all male children, 2 years old and below, in and around Bethlehem the year Christ was born. Because he was told that the King of the Jews would be born in Bethlehem due to the prophecy in Micah 5:2. And he wanted to make sure no king was born on his watch that could threaten his throne. So he decided to take matters into his own hands and murder innocent babies. This painting from the 1600s depicts Herod directing the death of all these innocent young boys. We look at that and we say, well, this may happen more than we think it happens. It does happen. Babies are killed all the time. Children are killed all the time. And it appears that children are even killed in the Bible. In fact, it appears God commands it. In fact, if you go to Deuteronomy 20, it says, in the cities of the nations of the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, do not leave alive anything that breathes. Completely destroy them. The Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, as the Lord your God has commanded you. Otherwise, they will teach you to follow all the detestable things they do in worshiping their gods, and you will sin against the Lord your God. God said we need to wipe out this culture because it's going to defile you and pull you away from me. It gets even worse than this, however. If you look in 1 Samuel 15, thus says the Lord of hosts, I will punish Amalek for what he did to Israel. Now he set himself against him, who on the way, while he was coming up from Egypt, in other words, this Amalek went against Egypt, or I should say when it went up against the Israelites coming from Egypt, and God says, now go and strike Amalek and utterly destroy all that he has, and do not spare him, but put to death both man and woman, child and infant, ox, sheep, camel, and donkey.
Thus says the Lord.
Thus says the Lord. What do you say about this? I mean, please. Here we are mourning the death of all these innocent children, and in our Bible it seems we have God ordering this. How can this be? Well, for those of you who've been here before, we're going through the attributes of God. We've talked about the attributes that God has alone. He's eternal, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, unchangeable, self-existent. He's simple spirit. We've already covered all these in previous sessions. And the attributes he can communicate are the fact that he's holy, he's beautiful, he is truth, he is just, he is loving, he is merciful. We're going to cover these last three here tonight, just, loving, and merciful. You say, how can a God who orders this be just, loving, and merciful? Well, let's get into it. This is going to be our mission tonight. First thing we're going to talk about is, does the existence of evil disprove God?